Welcome to the Fashion Institute of South Florida. One of the first pieces our students put together during our sewing classes is a basic bodice. And today we're going to show you how to do it step by step. Now I'm going to show you how to sew the front body sloper or foundation or master pattern with facing on the neckline. So we have the front cut on a fold right here. Here is the sleeve and here is the center of the back, which we had to because it's going to have buttons and buttonholes on the center back. And then we have the front neckline facing right here, and then we had two pieces of the back neckline facing because it takes a seam on the center back. So let's go to the machine so I can show you how to put all of these together. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the waistline down. So here I have the two notches and then I have here the vanishing point already marked. So I'm just going to sew on a straight line from the notch all the way to the vanishing point. I back stitch at the beginning. And you want to finish your dart half an inch up from the vanishing point because the mark is done half an inch before of the actually vanishing point. Now we have here half of the back bodies, and then we're going to do the two darts, the waistline dart right here and then the shoulder dart right here. Start with that with the back stitch. And I'm using yellow thread so you guys can see better the stitch line. This one is done. So now I'm going to do the one on the shoulder. And you want to do the same thing on the other half. So after I have sewed the darts, as you see right here on the front and the back, the next step is to join the side seam and the shoulder line. And I'm going to do it using a French seam. That's the reason that you see that the garment is played with the wrong side inside, in the back and the front, because when you do French seams, the right side is off for the first seam. So we are ready to do the French seams on the side seam. By the way, if you guys want to learn deeply and in more detail how to do French seams, you can refer to the link that is on the description of this video. When you're going to sew the French seam, you want to sew a quarter of the edge. Even so the patterns have a half an inch seam allowance, we're sewing on a quarter of the edge for now. Sizing is done, so I like to sew the shoulder right away. This is kind of the way that the production factory sew on a circle, so they move faster. I like to sew like this because time is money. Now I'm going to do the neck, the next shoulder line. Everything is a quarter. And the last one is the side seam. We had joined the bodies on the side seam and shoulder line. Here we are in the ironing board and we want to press the dart. Always press the dart when the dart intake towards the center front. And then also, so it makes it easier, so when you do the second step of French seams, you wanna press the seams on the side and on the shoulder line, as I'm going to show you. The dart on the front, they fall towards the center front. This one on the back, the dart intake or dart bulk go towards the center back. So here we have the shoulder. You wanna press that seam. In both shoulder lines. So now we are ready to go to the machine again to do the casing for the second line on the front seam. So here is the front seams. Remember, we saw the seam and a quarter, but I actually trim 1/8 of the edge in all of the seam lines that we have. So then we can do the second stitch to make the front seam. We are ready to do the second stitch to finish the front seam. And as you can see, this stitch is the first one that we did on the right side of the garment. So now we're going to flip it to the wrong side, and you're going to go in the machine and we're going to sew again and a quarter. Remember, you always have to sew the casing a little bigger than the amount of seam allowance that you had inside, so it can be covered. Since I have 1/8 seam allowance inside, I sew at a quarter. So I complete the side seam. Now I'm moving to the shoulder seam. At the beginning and at the end of each seam, you want a back stitch. And the last one is the side seam on the other side. Everything has been stitched and a quarter. And that's it, we have completed the front seams. Let's talk about facing. So facing is extra piece of fabric with the shape of the neckline that we use to clean the edge of the neckline. So here we have the facing that we're going to be using to clean this neckline. So it's already have fusible interfacing, which is give you a little more body to it. So since the neckline front is already attached to the neckline back, we actually had to attach the neckline or the shoulder line right here to the back on the shoulder line before we can put the facing into the blouse itself. So let's use front seams to do that. So now I'm ready to join the neckline front with the neckline back on the shoulder line. So again, using the front seam, we're going to join on the shoulder line, and that's the reason that the garment have the right side out. Now we have here the facing that has been joined together on the shoulder line. So here is the neckline on the back, front and back. I like to clean the edge of the facing with a bias tape. So I have here a piece of bias tape. So I'm going to be placing the bias tape all around the edge or the outside edge of the facing. I'm going to start attaching the bias tape on the edge of the facing and a quarter seam allowance. once you finish attaching to all of the edge, you wanna fold so you can encase or cover the edge of the fabric, and you wanna do a top stitch. So look how nice the edge of the facing look, clean it with a Vaya stay. You keep folding down to cover the edge of the fabric. And doing a top stitch. Now that the facing has been prepared and the top has been joined on the shoulder line, we are ready to attach the facing to the neckline. So we're going to start by pinning the center front notch with notch right here. Then we want to make sure that the shoulder seams match as well, as you can see right here. So I want to put a couple of pins here. Then on the back, as you can see, the facing is short, but that's okay because that's meant to go with the folded line on the center back. So I'm going to to put a pin right here, because before I start attaching the facing on the neckline, I'm going to attach the facing to the folded line. To start, I'm going to join the facing with the center back at 3/8 seam allowance. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now that I join the facing with the back, I'm ready to attach the facing to the neckline and a 1/4 seam allowance. And sewing and a 1/4 seam allowance all the way around the neckline. Making sure that the notches on the center back have been moved, so everything match perfecto. Continue towards the center back. Sewing and a 1/4, and I'm finished there. After you attach the facing to the neckline, you're going to do a top stitch at 1/8 from the joint on the facing, not on the right side of the garment, but on the facing. So that top stitch, it will help the facing to stay down. You want to start as close as possible to the center back. It's impossible to start right on the center back because of the folded line, but you want to start as close as possible. So as you can see, 1/8 from the edge, and doing a top stitch, and I also making sure that the seam allowance go towards the facing, not towards the body, because I'm doing the top stitch on the facing, so the seam allowance go towards the facing. And I'm going to just keep going, doing a top stitch, because besides pressing the facing down, the top stitch help it to stay down. Here on the back, we cannot go to the center back, so we're going to finish right here, and the top stitch is done. So you cannot see it on the right side of the garment, as you can tell. Now we're going to press the facing down. After the top stitch, it's good to press the facing, and as you notice, is the right side is rolling in a little bit. That's another reason that why you wanna do top stitch. Since this top is going to have buttons and buttonholes on the center back, the pattern already included a cell placket, and we went ahead and add fusible interfacing to the cell placket. So depending on the width that the pattern have, you have to fold twice. So then you're going to do a top stitch all of the way from here, all of the way to the edge, so you can do the placket. So now we're going to sew the placket. You can sew right here from the neckline edge, and you just want to keep the stitch holding the folded line. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to do the hem on the waistline of the top. So we're going to be doing a 1/2 inch for the hem. So we're going to fold first a 1/4, and then we want to fold 1/2 inch so we can do the hem at the bottom of waistline edge. Now I'm ready to do the hem at the bottom, so I'm just going to be folding the line as I go, but you guys can feel free to iron this first before you put it into the machine. It make it easier for you. You want to make sure that the darts are on the center front or towards the center front. Here is a little on a bias angle, so you have to take your time to accommodate. That's it. Here we have the body sloper with facing on the neckline, and you can see that we haven't cleaned the armhole because in the next video I'm going to show you how to do set-in sleeve attached to the bodice. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give a thumbs up if you like this tutorial, and don't forget to leave your comments below with suggestions on one other tutorial you would like to watch next. Thanks again. Until next time.